Assalamu alaikum. Hello everyone, and I hope you have been waiting for the next lesson of passive voices. So this is me, Rabia Malik, once again in front of you, and today we are going to study about passive voices of present perfect tenses, which we left in the last video tutorial, and now we are also learning passive voices of past tense. But wait, before starting this lesson, don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on the bell icon. So let's begin our lesson today. So present perfect has an active voice formula, which is like starting with subject, and then we use have and has as the helping verb. With third person singular we use has, and rest of the subjects go with have, and then we use third form of the verb and other words. And when we make it passive voice, so you all know that we always start passive voices with object. So here we have an object, and according to object we decide which helping verb are we going to use, whether has or have, any one of them, like third person singular has and rest of them will go for have. And then we include another helping verb which is of been, because as you can see, has, have, third form. Here we are also having has, have and third form. So if we just see all of them, so it sounds similar. How can we differentiate between active and passive? Due to this helping verb which is been. We just add a helping verb been here, and then we can just convert into passive voice. Like if I give you an example, doctors have operated the patient. Here you can see the object which is of patient who is receiving an action, and if I just convert it into the passive voice, it will be patient, because it's a singular noun, that's why I'm adding has with it. Patient has been operated. Now I'm not going to mention doctors, because definitely doctors are going to make an operation of that patient, right? So this is how we can make passive voices of present perfect. Now moving on, let's come to the past simple one. Past simple is the tense which we use in the past action. Any action which we started in the past and finished as well, then we use the passive voice, past simple tense. The active voice formula, what does it say? We start with the subject, then we use second form of the verb and other words. And if you are going to make negatives or interrogatives, so we add did with first form, remove second form of verb. Then when we make it passive voice, we start with subject or object. Here it's written subject, which means it's an object. We start with an object, then we use was and were, right? We use was and were. Was and were are the helping verbs of past continuous tense, right? Then we use third form of the verb and then other words. Like what's an example for that? He scolded his son. Now son is the object. If I just make into the passive voice, his son was scolded, right? In this way we can make the passive voice of past simple tense. Now past continuous one. Past continuous is all about the simplest thing, the was, were, and then the fourth form, the ing form of the verb. And if we convert into the passive voice, then do what? Object, was and were. Then we add being here, because if we are not adding being, so it is just similar with this one, the past simple passive voice one. That's why we just added being here, because as we all know, I have taught you before as well, without ing form of verb we can never make any continuous sentence. So anyhow we need ing form. That's why we added another helping verb which is being, the ing form of the verb be, and then we use the third form of the verb and then other words. Like she was baking cake, cake was being baked. Now it was a continuous action, and I can identify it with the helping verb being, that the action was the continuous one. Last one for today's lesson, past perfect. As we have learned in the present perfect, like it was having has and have, and it has had one helping verb which is had, and it goes with every subject, whether singular or plural, first person, second person, third person. With every subject we use only one helping verb which is had, and then third form of the verb and then other words. Like she had invited us. Now in this sentence, as you all know, we start with object and then had, and once again making that same difference, been, and then third form of verb. Has, have, been present perfect, had been past perfect. Like she has invited us, we had been invited. or if you just want to mention, you can say by her. We had been invited by her. So here we have done with the lesson of today, where we have learned present perfect passive, past simple passive, past continuous passive, and past perfect passive. Hope you have just liked it and you have just got your confusions cleared. And if you want to learn any more lessons, drop down in the comments below and let us know which topic you want to learn. So see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.